Hello, good evening, and welcome to News 360 here from the News Hub at Adisawe, Kanda. I'm Natalie Fort.
And I am Pakwisi Asari. Coming up in the next 60 minutes.
News 360 Headlines is brought to you by
President Akufo-Addo nominates Justice Sophia Ekufu as new Chief Justice.
Also in the bulletin, Kintampo Falls to open within 3 months.
And the Ghana Journalists Association Election Disputes Adjudication Committee orders disqualified aspirants to be allowed to contest executive positions.
And in one of our top stories tonight, raped, made pregnant and forgotten. We'll tell you the story of a mentally challenged Ama who sleeps in the open in Accra with her twins.
And coming up in business, the Ghana Investment Promotion Center strategizes to rake in $5 billion foreign direct investments in 2017.
And elsewhere on the foreign front, the World Health Organization declares Ebola outbreak in the Democratic Republic of Congo. We've got details of all these stories, plus many more, including your views, comments, and suggestions, all welcome on any of our social media pages. Right, so we begin with our very first story, and President Akufo-Addo has named Supreme Court Justice Sophia Ekufu as his nominee for the position of Chief Justice of Ghana. The president pledged the executive's commitment to work with her to restore the image of the judiciary.
Justice Sophia Ekufu takes over from Justice Georgina Theodora Wood as the new Chief Justice officially from June 8, 2017. Justice Sophia has worked with the Supreme Court since 2005 and will become the 13th person to occupy the position after approval from Parliament. President Akufo-Addo praised the outgoing Chief Justice Georgina Theodora Wood for her contribution to the delivery of justice.
She is the first female to head the judiciary and its longest-serving leader, who will have been in office for 3 days, short of 10 years. Her career has been extraordinary, and I pay warm tribute to her distinguished service to our nation and wish her a well-earned retirement.
On his nominee, Justice Sophia Ekufu, the president described her quality as unquestionable. The president pledged the executive's commitment to work with the judiciary.
Her capacity for detailed research, her independence of mind and spirit, her honesty and integrity, her deep-seated respect for the rule of law, and her abiding belief in the sovereignty of Almighty God. I have no doubt that Justice Sophia Ekufu will be a worthy successor to Chief Justice Wood and uphold jealously the independence of the judiciary.
If approved by Parliament, Justice Sophia Ekufu will be the second woman in the history of the country to occupy the position of Chief Justice.
So let's now run through the profile of Justice Sophia Ekufu. She has served as Justice of the Supreme Court for the past 2 decades. Also a member governing committee of the Commonwealth Judicial Education Institute. She's one of the first justices of the African Court on Human and People's Rights and the immediate past president of the African Court of Human and People's Rights. President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo has expressed a lot of hope and commit and faith in her performing above expectation. She's also been a member of the disciplinary committee of the General Legal Council and publications for the application of information and communication technology in the judicial process, the Ghanaian experience, the fifth Chief Justice of the Fourth Republic of Ghana. As we know, she's taking over outgoing Chief Justice Georgina Theodora Wood, who has also been commended for her contribution to the delivery of justice. And so we'll see what she would come up with. Now, the Elections Dispute Adjudication Committee has ordered that aspirants who were not allowed to contest for positions in the 2017 Ghana Journalists Association elections be given the opportunity. The committee was also disqualified either for not being a member of the association or their membership was below 3 years. In a statement released today, signed by Chairman of the committee, Yao Bwedu, in a statement released by the committee and signed by Chairman, the committee advised the Electoral Commission to lift the immediate postponement of the elections for the process to take its course. The committee is hopeful that stakeholders of the GJA will accept the decision in good faith for the overall well-being of the association.
You're still watching News 360 live from our news hub here in Accra. In other stories, the Safety Audit Committee on the Kintampo Waterfalls disaster has recommended the fall to be open within 3 months. The committee again proposed that safety needs and proper management of the fall should be instituted immediately.
The committee made observation after its findings of the tragic accident. The 2 months' findings identified the lack of emergency services in the area as a major cause of the disaster. It has, however, recommended the building of new staircase to the number 3 portion of the fall. The committee again proposed the need for proper management to be put in place. The 2 months' findings suggested safety needs to be in place immediately and asked government to open the waterfall to tourists within 3 months. In all, 18 students lost their lives at the waterfall on March 20, 2017.
In other stories this evening, the United Nations Resident Coordinator, Christine Evans-Clark, has stressed the need to enforce road traffic laws, addressing the media after a 4-day workshop as part of the UN's decade-long campaign to cut deaths and injuries on roads. The Resident Coordinator asked drivers to prioritize safety on roads by minimizing speed levels.
Road accidents represent the 9th leading cause of death in the world. It is also the biggest killer of people aged between 15 and 29. Between 20 million and 50 million others receive non-fatal injuries every year. The United Nations has projected the number of deaths on roads to reach 1.9 million a year by the end of the decade. A UN global plan for the decade has turned attention to pedestrians and cyclists who collectively comprise almost half of all people killed on the world's roads. The campaign to reduce the vulnerability of pedestrians and cyclists include building bicycle paths, creating separate motorcycle lanes and improving access to public transport. The plan also urges countries to strengthen laws on speeding, drinking and driving, and the wearing of helmets and seat belts. This, the UN Resident Coordinator Christine Evans-Clark says, will help achieve drastic reduction of death on roads.
UN member states have agreed to these ambitious targets to save lives on our roads, but it is the job of all of us, as individuals in our behavior, as government in setting rules and maintaining roads, as public safety officers enforcing those rules, as the justice system imposing consequences for breaking those rules, as schools and communities for promoting road safety. It is our joint responsibility to make sure that this goal becomes a reality.
The World Health Organization, WHO, which will play a coordinating role during the Decade of Action, estimates only 15% of countries currently have comprehensive laws addressing all of these key risk factors. The head of the WHO Ghana office, Dr. Owen Kalua, said speeding on roads must be greatly minimized.
There are a number of risk factors, but the focus for this particular week and going ahead after this week to next year is let's really focus on the reduction of the speed. It is our expectation that the much needed campaign to slow down and save life will continue to influence our approach to ensure safety on our roads.
Now, work on the Nima storm drain in Accra is expected to be completed in the next 3 months. Roads and Highways Minister Kwesi Amwakwata, however, cautioned residents living closer to the drain against acts that will endanger their lives.
The Roads Minister, his deputy and the Minister for Zongo and Inner City Development were on an inspection tour of some Zongo communities. The team first inspected the 0.9-kilometer drain which connects Mamubi and Kanda. Perennial flooding in the area is expected to cease after the completion of the project.
Community members to educate them and to sensitize them on the need for the project and the portion they will have to do to give to us so that we can easily complete the project.
Some people have turned this bus drain, as into a residence. It's dangerous. It touches on the safety of our people.
Next, the road minister and his entourage inspected some roads in the Lankwantana Medina municipality. He inspected some roads from social welfare through the Medina markets and then Medina West, where residents appealed to the roads minister for a proper storm drain to avert water overflowing their houses during the raining season. The Roads and Highways Minister Kwesi Amwakwata suggested that all major roads within Medina should be given an asphalt overlay.
We have to take steps, to reduce and to retire even completely the dust by working on the roads. My ministry has the responsibility of protecting and maintaining what we call the road corridor.
The Minister for Zongo and Inner City Development and MP for Medina, Abubakar Sadiq Boniface, said his ministry is poised to ensure the development of inner cities and Zongos.
Looking at the kind of hardships, and it is based on that the President created the ministry to ensure that we enhance infrastructure and sanitation.
In other stories this evening, the Tamale Metropolitan Assembly has warned traders to relocate ahead of the decongestion exercise in the Central Business District. Eva Atibuka reports the exercise expected on May 15 is to rid the city of unauthorized structures and hawkers.
The exercise has been on the drawing board for years. It is to be carried out at the Abu market and its environs. The market attracts foodstuff and animals, but has been congested, leaving traders to struggle for space. Every available space has been taken over by traders, including streets and entrances to the market. The Assembly, however, says it has completed enough shops at the Kakpayili, Abu and the Central Business District market for traders. But these traders have abandoned them to sell on the streets. Unauthorized structures have also sprung up in areas earmarked for expansion, including route into the market. The Assembly admits that lack of proper monitoring and supervision on their part is responsible for this. The Assembly explained the decongestion will make way for a decent market and also protect traders from fire outbreaks. The task force will also wage war on tricycle operators by removing extra seats and stopping miners from using the tricycles. The Metropolitan Chief Executive, Musa Superior, asked traders to collaborate with the Assembly to improve conditions at the market. The Assembly is collaborating with the military, police, immigration, fire service, and other para-security agencies to decongest the market.
A reminder, you're still watching News 360 live from our news hub here in Accra. If you want to be a part of this bulletin, feel free to share with us your views, comments and suggestions on any of our top stories this hour. Visit any of our social media pages on Facebook and on Twitter and post a comment. The Ashaiman Municipal Assembly in the Greater Accra region has confirmed the president's nominee for Municipal Chief Executive, Albert Boakye Ochiri, while Assembly members of the Osudoko District also voted overwhelmingly for Daniel Akufu as Chief Executive.
This is the second time Albert Boakye Ochiri had been voted on for the position of the MCE for Ashaiman. The nominee was the Municipal Chief Executive during the Kufuor administration. He obtained all the votes cast.
Indiscipline has engulfed Ashaiman. Even in the streets, where people carry their wares and take more than half of the streets and sell. And when you go in, you see that the people who sell in the streets, about 60% or more don't even come from Ashaiman. However, where they are coming from, there are streets, yet they don't sell there.
The Member of Parliament for Ashaiman, Ernest Nogwe, called on the new MCE to tackle issues in the municipality with urgency.
My expectation is that we have to join us together to develop Ashaiman, make sure Ashaiman is developed. All the necessary challenges that are confronting our municipality, we have to make sure we deal with those challenges.
In another development, Daniel Akufu was also confirmed for the Shai Osudoko District as a District Chief Executive. The new District Chief Executive assured his readiness to cooperate with Assembly members to fulfill the vision and mission of the Assembly.
Assembly that is touted as the poorest in the region. I promise with your support and the carving of a constructive pathway to lead the national conversation on the road for modernized society focused on creation of jobs and better livelihood.
Both the MP of the area, Linda Akwele Okulu, and the regional minister, Ishmael Ashite, called for prudent programs to bring development to the Assembly.
There's going to be a mutual agreement and we are going to work together. You could see from their voting that they all voted 100% for the DC. And the DC, I don't see him to be somebody who is going to be difficult. I know he's going to work hand in hand with me.
The Minister of Science, Technology and Innovation, Professor Kwabena Frimpong Boateng, says government has initiated a policy to place science, technology and innovation at the center of the country's development agenda. Speaking at the Innovation for Africa Prize media briefing in Accra, he stressed the need for innovators to be given the right tools and encouragement to support the creative potential of Guineans.
The Innovation Prize for Africa, IPA, is an initiative of the African Innovation Foundation started in 2011. The award is aimed at honoring and encouraging innovative achievements that contribute towards developing new products, increasing efficiency or saving costs in Africa. The prize also promotes among young Africans the pursuit of science, technology and engineering careers, as well as business opportunities with potential of contributing to sustainable development in Africa. Speaking at the press briefing of the Innovation Prize for Africa 2017 in Accra, the Minister of Science, Technology and Innovation, Professor Kwabena Frimpong Boateng, said government has initiated a policy to place science, technology and innovation at the center of the country's development agenda.
Ghana is blessed with natural resources. But as we all know, natural resources have no natural owners. The real owners of those resources are those masters of innovation who over the years have developed the technology to exploit the resources. If we want to be masters of our abundant resources, then we have to be master innovators and develop technologically.
The minister maintained Ghana is a country of innovators and given the right tools, encouragement and support, the creative potential of Ghanaians will be unleashed to find solutions to socio-economic challenges facing the country.
We are not talking about scientists or engineers in the universities or research institutions alone, but ordinary people, if we have come up with something that will solve a problem in sanitation, in water supply, in agriculture, in any field,
Just come and showcase what you have, and then you'll be given a prize for that.
Let's find out what the weather looks like for the night. And tonight, the weather over the entire country is expected to be partly cloudy, but fair throughout the night period, except places in Upper East, Tamale, Ashanti and Volta regions where moderate rains are expected to occur with thundery activities. The coast is expected to have isolated rains with thundery activities early tomorrow morning. Forested high grounds and mountainous areas in southern Ghana are expected to have mist or fog patches. Weather condition early tomorrow morning. Still to come. Raped, made pregnant and forgotten will tell you the story of a mentally challenged Ama who sleeps in the open in Accra with her twins.
And in business, the Ghana Investment Promotion Center strategizes to rake in $5 billion foreign direct investment in 2017.
And elsewhere on the African continent, large cyber attack in England causes IT failure, resulting in a shutdown of national health. We also have got stories on Ebola, which has just been detected in one African country. We'll bring you the very latest details on that and many more.
We have of those stories and the very latest from the world of business shortly here on News 360. Stay with us.
It's News 360 and it's time for business. My name is Nanikia Mensah-Brampa. Let's start with issues on investment, as the Ghana Investments Promotion Center says it is working at improving foreign direct investment into the country. The center says investment into the integrated aluminium project, the Northern Iron Ore Deposit Exploitation and the One District, One Factory project will increase FDIs to more than $5 billion in 2017.
Ghana's economy relies heavily on foreign direct investments in raking revenue and creation of jobs. In 2016, total foreign direct investments to Ghana amounted to $2.4 billion. This is a $300 million drop in the figure recorded in 2015. The $2.7 billion recorded in 2015 was seen as not encouraging, and so efforts were geared at increasing FDIs. The Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Investment Promotion Center, GIPC, Yofi Grant, argues targeted investments into specific sectors can help increase FDIs to Ghana to more than $5 billion this year.
The integrated aluminium project that we want to do on its own is a $3 billion plus project. The Northern Iron Ore deposits that we want to exploit and use as a foundation for a steel industry is another maybe $5 billion investment. If you have two groups that want to do this year, you are probably looking at an inward investment of $8 billion. But what we are saying is that at least we should try and attract investments of $5 billion.
According to government, strategic interventions in the economy through tax reduction and removal in the 2017 budget has so far injected close to 1 billion cedis into the economy. The GIPC says Ghana will be positioned as a business, financial and transportation hub in the sub-region.
For us, this is very important that we position ourselves as a regional hub. For a lot of our investors, we tell them, if you come to Ghana, you have access to the ECOWAS market, which is a free trade zone. So even on signing the EPA, we want to go to the European companies and say, well, yes, you can actually come and manufacture in Ghana for ECOWAS.
Why, so you would want to join the Business Focus team this Monday at 6 p.m. as Yofi Grant, CEO of GIPC, joins us to discuss Ghana and investments. But away from issues on investments, the management of Cocoa Board has recalled 9 local union executives of the Industrial and Commercial Workers Union, ICU, who were dismissed by the previous Chief Executive Officer, Dr. Stephen Opuni. Following this, the national leadership of ICU has agreed to withdraw all court cases against Cocoa Board.
The Chief Executive Officer, Dr. Stephen Opuni, transferred and dismissed more than 13 members of ICU and the General Agricultural Workers Union, GAU. This, the leadership of ICU and GAU did not take kindly, petitioning the court for redress. The case of wrongful dismissals and transfers are still in court. The new management of Cocoa Board, however, recalled 9 local union executives who were dismissed by the previous Chief Executive Officer. This has compelled the national leadership of ICU to begin discussions on withdrawing all legal cases against Cocoa Board. General Secretary of ICU, Solomon Kote, said legal counsels of the two parties have been informed about the decision.
It's a legal issue, so you can't just say that it's tomorrow or tomorrow next. But the intention and announcement to the courts have been made to have the issues withdrawn.
Are we likely to see that in the next few days or few weeks or few months?
The court workings I can't predict, but I believe it will be very soon.
Meanwhile, the ICU has inaugurated its new local union executives at Cocoa Board. The new leadership is expected to partner with the mother union ICU to conclude negotiations on salaries by May 19. The General Secretary has warned of not tolerating any intimidation and injustice during their negotiations.
Some of these new local union executives were buffeted and suffered injustice at the hands of the erstwhile management led by Dr. Stephen Opuni for digging in their heels and historically withstanding attempts by the erstwhile Cocoa Board management and its disgruntled union collaborators to bust the union and break the front of the ICU Ghana at Cocoa Board.
Now to some organizational activities. Melcom Care Foundation, a charity wing of the Melcom Group of Companies, has donated foods and toiletries to inmates of the Nsawam and Sekondi prisons. The donation forms part of expanding the company's scope of support to the vulnerable in society.
The items include oil, bags of rice, boxes of bottled water, toiletries and provisions to meet the needs of the prison inmates. Over the past 4 years, the Melcom Group of Companies, through the Melcom Care Foundation, has given assistance to its customers and Ghanaians in general through educational scholarships, building of schools and support to the health sector. The foundation has expanded its scope from health and education to the prisons this year. The Director of Communications of Melcom Group of Companies, Godwin Avenogbo, expressed the company's commitment to increase charity works to the wide range of society and customers who do business with them.
We're doing this as Melcom because we live in a community. We want to be good corporate citizens. We want to associate with people who patronize our goods and services so that they know we are part of them. So we're not seen as a foreign group that has just come to make money and go. No, we make money and we give it out.
The brand ambassador to the Melcom Group of Companies, Victoria Michaels, entreated Ghanaians to come on board to help better the lives of prison inmates.
One person is entitled to 1 CD 30 pesos, and out of that a VAT is also deducted, so you can imagine is almost nothing. So that is the reason Melcom decided to respond to their call by giving them food items, giving them some cash donation that can help match what is being given them by the government.
Reverend Kate Bosiakon, a representative of the Green Hill School who spearheaded the donation exercise for the prison beneficiaries, was grateful for the kind gesture. She advised Ghanaians to join in the upcoming free health service treatment of ailments such as stroke, cerebral palsy, back pains, with 8 medical experts from the United States for the prisoners in June this year.
As part of the treatment, we'll go to Nsawam prisons and donate these items to the inmates and also treat them, because you can see that some are grown up and they have stroke, some have back pain, some have arthritis, some have cerebral palsy. We'll treat them for free and then give this as donation on behalf of Malcolm Care Foundation to them to support the prisoners.
Remember, there's more news on our website. It's 3news.com. My name is Nanekia Mensah-Brampa. Let's go over to Natalie and Parkwesi with more.
Thanks very much, Nanekia Mensah-Brampa. And as always, you look spruce.
Thank you, Pa. Lovely weekend.
You too. You're still watching News 360 live from our news hub here in Accra. And to one of our top stories tonight, she was raped 10 months ago, got pregnant, and gave birth to twins. She now sleeps in the open. Amma cannot remember her family nor anything about her past. My colleague Odilia Ajiman-Prempe reports she feeds on the benevolence of the public.
Amma is what many call her. Those who know her say she had a mental challenge some years ago. 10 months ago, Amma was raped by a stranger when she had no place to sleep and got pregnant. She can neither recall the man who got her pregnant or anything about her past. Amma delivered twins a month ago. She recovered from her mental disorder on the night she delivered her twins.
I used to walk around. The only thing I remember was people calling me a mad woman. I realized my stomach had become big.
A sympathizer, Vida Bwatima, attested to Amma's calm nature since she knew her years ago around Malam Junction in Accra.
She is not a bad person, but she can't remember where she comes from.
She's unable to tell the cause of her illness. She says it's a mystery. The Malam interchange is now her home. She shares her abode with her one-month-old twins. Amma and her twins feed on the benevolence of sympathizers.
People provide me with food to feed my babies. Others also provide clothes.
Even here, the rains don't spare her when it comes down. As a mother, Amma wants the best for her children, but she contemplates how she will achieve this with her current circumstance.
I need support to get a better place.
She seems to be getting some help from the Accra Regional Department of the Social Welfare.
We will take the children first and foremost, then we will meet with the psychiatry hospital and then send their mother there. If we are able to get family members, then we will let the family members come for the children. If we are not able to get family members, we will continue to take care of the children and see whether their mother will recover.
Amma will first be taken to the psychiatry, but if she doesn't get better, the children will be adopted.
Very moving reports there by Odilia Ajiman-Prempe, isn't it?
Yeah, great one there. Very touching as well.
Absolutely. We'll certainly stay on that story and bring results as we do here at TV3. You're still watching News 360. Return to the very latest from the world of sports shortly. Stay with us.
Good evening, and it's time to bring you all the latest in the world of sports with me, Thierry Nyan. Now, we start off with the English Premier League, where currently there are 2 games ongoing, one between Everton and Watford, which is currently locked at 0-0 during half-time. But the other one is where lots of people who are following the English Premier League have their eyes on. Chelsea have travelled to the Hawthorn Stadium to face West Bromwich Albion, and currently it's a 0-0. So for Chelsea fans who are looking to be crowned champions by tonight, you have to wait probably another 45 minutes and pray that your players are going to be scoring some very crucial goals to ensure that you walk away with all 3 points from the Hawthorns. But that's it. We'll update you subsequently right here on TV3. Let's move on and we go straight to the Ghana Premier League, because there are going to be some fixtures for you this weekend. And as you see on your screens, Wafa are going to be facing Inter Allies, and then Asante Kotoko and that new coach Steve Pollack will face Tema Youth at the Babayara Stadium. Brekum Chelsea will also be at home to face Great Olympics. Bichem United against the Diana Stars. Ashanti Gold will face champions Wa All Stars. Ashanti Gold really are struggling bottom of the Ghana Premier League. Amina Sharks will also come up against the Bismarck Drafts, and then Bolga All Stars will face Mediama Sporting Club. Liberty Professionals will face Hearts of Oak. We'll come back to football, but let's now focus on some bodybuilding. And Ghana's Strongest Season 6 has, taken a good shape after going through all the audition stages and zones in the country. And the next stage is the final eliminator that will take place at the Trade Fair Center on Saturday. The stage is set for another battle between some of the strongest men in Ghana. The final eliminator will look to keep on 12 men for the remaining shows and evict 8 athletes who possibly would not make the grade. The auditions have ended at all 4 zones in the country, and the 12 selected athletes will now lock horns. The likes of past winners Kari Jadeko and Barack Kwachi Obama will look on together, with the entire country hoping a deserving successor and winner will emerge after the next few weeks. Those athletes waiting to impress say they are ready for the final eliminator.
In the past, the past was tough, so I just expect it to be as tough, if not more. So we'll train hard, go put down everything we can put down, and then see what happens.
How far will you go this season?
I'm going to the next round. We'll see. We'll see how far we go after that.
I think God created me in His own wisdom, very beautiful way. I am self-motivated. I motivate myself. I don't really want to motivate me.
The commissioners, who have made some keen observations so far, believe the season will be a promising one.
This year, we're expecting the athletes to be more up and doing with the tax that we have for them. Because we are going to twist some of the tax. It's not going to be the same tax as last year. This year, we'll twist some of the tax, just to make it more interesting.
We're going to look at discipline. We're going to look at realism. We would have to look at decisiveness. And then coupled with the fact that what we've always been looking out for, as in mental alertness, iron-mindedness, perseverance.
The final eliminator will be on Saturday, May 13th.
Anyway, please try hand.
The Accra International Trade Fair Center. Brute strength and grit are expected to be on show as 12 athletes progress to the main events. TV3's Ghana's Strongest. Ghana's Strongest. The power to do. So I was speaking to you on the English Premier League and the fact that Chelsea are playing against West Bromwich Albion, hoping to win that game and be crowned champions of this particular season. But they are not the only side playing this weekend. Let's look at the fixtures of the English Premier League this weekend. To the world of tennis now, and world number 2 Novak Djokovic is into the semi-finals of the Madrid Open after his quarter-final opponent Kei Nishikori withdrew with a wrist injury. Straightforward match. Now, Japan's world number 8 missed last month's Barcelona Open with the injury and faces a race to be fit for the French Open starting May 28. Defending champion Novak Djokovic will now play against Rafa Nadal, who beats David Goffin on Friday and Saturday's last for much. It really will be another big game between Novak Djokovic and former world number 1 Rafa Nadal. Both men really are looking to, retake some of the trophies that Roger Federer has already leapt to the front to snatch. But we'll bring you all the updates to that on here on TV3 with me, Thierry Nyan, subsequently. It's time that we wrap up the sports bulletin. Natalie Fort and Parkwesi are standing by to bring you some more news after this.
Welcome back to News 360. Time now for us to take a look at some news from the international community.
The World Health Organization (WHO) has declared an Ebola outbreak in the Democratic Republic of Congo. According to the WHO, at least one person has died after contracting the virus in the country's northeast. The Congolese Health Ministry had notified the WHO of a lab-confirmed case of Ebola. More than 11,000 people died in the Ebola outbreak in West Africa between 2014 and 2015. This was mainly in Guinea, Sierra Leone and Liberia. NHS services across England have been hit by IT failure believed to be caused by a large-scale cyber attack. Trusts and hospitals in London, Blackburn, Nottingham, Cumbria and Hertfordshire have been affected as phone and IT systems are shut down. To quote the newspaper, the Blackpool Gazette, saying general medical practitioners, popularly called GPS, are resorting to using pen and paper. NHS England says they are aware of the issue and are looking into it.
Welcome back to News 360 live from our news hub here in Accra. Let's do some entertainment news now. And the winner of Talented Kids Season 8 has been presented with their prizes. They also received souvenirs and products from their sponsors.
Entertainment news is brought to you by
Director of Marketing at TV3, Efo Jakbasu, presented the dummy checks to the winners. Efo Praba, who came fourth, received her check for 4,000 cedis. Christian Morgan, who placed third, was represented. He received 6,000 cedis. First runner-up, Melodious Singers, Nakel, took away 8,000 cedis. 9-year-old wonder kid, Erica Tando, popularly referred to as DJ Switch, received 10,000 Ghana cedis and an educational fund of 6,000 cedis from First Bank. In addition to the cash prizes, each winner received hampers and products from sponsors. Also, Christian Morgan received 500 cedis worth of Indomie prizes. Nakel had 1,000 cedis worth of the same products, and DJ Switch received 1,500 worth of the products. Marketing manager of the United Foods Industries Limited, Bello Sida Haruna, who presented the items to the winners, explained the content to each prize.
For the first winner, we have 30 cartons of Indomie. Then we have two cartons of mini chinchin. Then we have exercise books, t-shirts, and aprons. For the second winner, we have 19 cartons of Indomie, and then 2 cartons of mini chinchin, exercise books, umbrellas, and t-shirts.
Talented kids, free to play.
Still on entertainment this evening, ACP Helen Tete is braving the odds to juggle her career as a police officer, medical doctor and a musician. She believes gospel music is her inner passion. Adra Mofa Osei has filed the following report.
There is no name given on earth by which we can be saved except the name of the Lord. For the name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous run into it and they are saved. Over Shalom, Jehovah Rapha, Jehovah Shammah, Yahweh is your name.
Combining 3 different professions is never an easy task, according to ACP Helen Tete. she has no doubt she can be jack of all trades. After practicing as a medical doctor in the police service for almost 2 decades, she has decided to pursue a newfound passion, music. Though she says it has always been part of her, the right time to showcase that talent is now.
I believe that everybody has a passion. You know, despite your profession, there's something that you really love to do. And singing is one of the things I really love to do. And so it's not been easy, but I've had to find the time to be able to do what I love to do.
The mother of 4 said prior to starting her own recordings, she wrote songs for most gospel artists. She said she was inspired by the courage of SP Kofi Sapong, who doubles as a police officer and one of the greatest gospel musicians, that anything was possible with determination.
It's just in the last 2 years that I realized that I could take the music to a different level. I could write my own songs and sing them and record them. So this is completely new. You know, becoming a recording artist is completely new, but it's a good challenge.
ACP Helen Tete hopes to collaborate with reigning artist of the year, Joe Metal, and other gospel superstars.
Misiro, midie mimpaba, if we send your team mono, also sing your warrior sing.
Wow, ACP Helen Tete is certainly tapping each and every one of her talents.
Something in her that she wants to
Very
bring
encouraging.
out. Wish her all the best.
Absolutely.
Take us home.
And that brings us to the end of News 360 this evening here from the News Hub at Adesawe, Kanda. I'm Natalie Fort.
And I'm Pakuti Asare. Enjoy your weekend. We'll see you again.